Looking to see what's happening around your home? Ring's Battery Doorbell helps you track packages and see who's at your door in real time. The Outdoor Cam Plus protects your yard at night with a wide field of view and clearer Retinal 2K video. Or upgrade to 4K cameras and doorbells with Retinal Vision for ultra-clear zoom and detail. Your door, your yard, your home. With Ring, it's protected. Shop cameras, doorbells, and more at ring.com now.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
And action! Hello and welcome to episode 358 of the Filmmakers podcast. This is a podcast where we talk filmmaking, from indie film to studio films to TV to documentaries and everything in between. How to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to F it up, in our very, very humble opinion. I'm Giles Alderson, and I'm delighted to welcome onto the show today producer and actress Terri Dwyer and director, writer and actor Ian Puleston-Davies. They are some of the team behind Bolans Shoes. It is released in cinemas now. Myself and Nina Christopherson, our guest hosts for this week's episode, sit down with Ian and Terri and we talk about why we do it. What is this fear that we possess? And imposter syndrome. And as a debut director, why it's important to work with experienced crew and why it's okay to ask for help. We talk dealing with reviews and winning awards, dealing with issues and having a backbone on set, believing in yourself as a director, and why being a dictator is the worst trait. Bolans Shoes is a story about a devastating road accident that changes a group of young lives forever. Years later, survivor Penny takes best friend and fellow Mark Bolan fan to visit his shrine in London, where an encounter there resurfaces past trauma. This film is superb. It's an excellent, excellent indie film, and it's a debut movie by Ian Puleston-Davies as well. It is produced by Terri Dwyer, obviously, Dean Fisher and the wonderful Greg Barrow. Its cinematographer is Richard Swingle. It was edited by Abby Wright and it was cast by the always superb Kate Plantin. And the composer was Ian Arbour. This film stars Timothy Spall, Mark Lewis-Jones, Matthew Horn, Holly Dempsey, Lewis Emmerich, Sarah John, India Sienna Rose Williams, Ruby Snape, and as the lead role of Penny, Leanne Best, who is, for me, phenomenal in this film. It's a wonderful, heartbreaking performance, and she deserves all the awards that hopefully get thrown at her. It's a really stunning performance. It is totally worth checking out. Like I say, the movie is in cinemas. Please go support indie films. This is what this podcast is all about, us supporting each other, helping you guys and girls go out there and make your film. So when someone does that, it's so important to support and review the film as well. That really helps it get a presence. Any indie film you watch, go on Amazon, go on IMDb, Letterboxd, whatever it is, and review it. Go on all of them. It takes seconds and it means so much to the filmmakers. A couple of shout-outs who have been amazing online in the last couple of weeks. There's been loads, actually, but I'm going to do half now and then half next week, in case there isn't any catch-up on. I'm sure there is. But anyway, thank you to Daniel J. Barnes, Mark Hampton, Ideen Johnson, Darren Rapier, Jeanette Godoy, and John Scranton. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keep going. If you want your name read out on the Filmmakers podcast, then go to our Twitter at FilmmakersPod, go to our Instagram, the Filmmakers Podcast, and give us some love. Say how much you really enjoyed Terri and Ian on this week's podcast, how much you love Bolans Shoes, whatever it is. Support, and we will support you back. If you've got a crowdfunder, if you've got a film coming out, let us know. We will shout about it. You can email us at thefilmmakerspodcast@gmail.com. Links to all that is in the show notes too, so don't be shy. By the way, my fellow host today, Nina Christopherson, she's an international multi-award winning actor singer, writer, producer, director. She's won so many awards for her West End show, Billie Holiday, and she's taking that around the country as well, and she's performing on the 29th of September. Coming up in a week or so for you, 8 p.m. I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. This is really worth seeing. If you love hypnotising, captivating performances, then you have to see Nina Christopherson perform, and she's phenomenal. So there you go, link to that is in the show notes, but do go see her singing Billie Holiday coming up, our co-host today. She's also starred in a couple of my films, including World of Darkness, many shorts, and she pops up in Stranger in Bed that I was lucky enough to direct for Terri Dwyer and Greg Barrow's brilliant production company, Buffalo Dragon. That is available now, Stranger in Our Bed, on Sky Store and around the world, on the Roku channel, Showtime, Prime Video, Apple TV, everywhere. If you fancy a night in watching a thriller based on a best-selling novel by Samantha Lee Howe, then the link to that should be in the show notes as well. So do go watch it. Speaking of Terri Dwyer, she has graced this podcast before, talking about her feature film Break that she produced and starred in. We also chatted on the podcast about The Stranger in Our Bed. So technically, this is her third time on the podcast. Not only is she an amazing producer, but she's also a brilliant actress as well, starring in Hollyoaks for a number of years, and also been in the TV series Law and Order, Storyline, Doctors, The Block, and starred in the feature films Age of Kill, Hooligan Legacy, which was produced by friend and fellow host of the podcast Lucinda Rhodes Takra, and she's also starred in 13 Graves, Break, which you mentioned, Stranger in Our Bed, of course, and she does pop up in Bolans Shoes as well. Ian Puleston-Davies has also acted for a number of years, starring in shows such as Marcella, Pennyworth, where he played Arthur Pennyworth, Tin Star as Frank Jackson, Viewpoint, Four Lives, The Teacher, Silent Witness, The Bay, and he's also starring in season 2 of The Responder, which is coming up for you very soon. And of course, he is the director and writer of Bolans Shoes. It is out now in cinemas. I don't know if I've told you that. But when an indie film like this gets to cinemas, it means an awful lot. It means a lot of hard work and effort has gone into making that happen. So, get yourself to a cinema. Go support this film. For now, though, sit back, relax, enjoy myself, fellow host Nina Christopherson, talking to Ian Puleston-Davies and Terri Dwyer. Enjoy. This podcast, and you've heard it anyway, but we go off on tangents and we come back, so don't ever worry about. It's more fun when it's relaxed, you know, and it's just us.
Yeah, you're getting that today.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning I couldn't even fucking talk. I was like, do I text Giles and say I sound awful?
I was thinking there's going to be a text coming in a minute saying, yeah, we haven't woken up, we're not coming. I thought,
I wouldn't do that to you, John.
Yeah, so we've obviously just premiere last night. Big screening now as well at the Everyman in London. And how was last night? Because premieres are just...
Can you remember last night, Terri?
Well, I know it was a late one. So, amazing. It was really amazing. You know, this is a tough industry. And I think sometimes people look at those events, don't they, and they go, oh, their job's so amazing. What they don't see is the years of struggle that you do. And then you have that one night and then years of struggle again.
Yes.
It was amazing. We felt really strongly about having it in Liverpool.
Yep.
The downside to that is obviously then trying to get the press there. We didn't realise it was London Fashion Week.
Of course, yes.
So I was a bit like, what's the red carpet going to look like? It was packed.
Wow.
Absolutely packed. And actually, where we had it was at the side of Fact Cinema in Liverpool. It's like a little square. You could, I mean, it felt like, you know, when you walk into like a proper festival like Berlin, and all you see is a sea of heads.
Yes.
And I did take a beat and just look around and think, oh my God. So yeah, I'm still on a high. It was incredible.
It was a moment. And what was lovely in a kind of warm, fuzzy feeling was a lot of our family and friends were there, and quite a few of my Welsh relatives had crossed the border. They're only allowed for one night only. They had to get back before midnight. Instead of being
and they can't touch water.
shot by a bow and arrow.
It's still true.
It's still true.
He said they have to come through the kitchen, but they're not allowed to look at anyone. They have to look at the floor.
Yeah, I said, we'll get you a little piece of the red carpet, we'll put it outside the kitchen so you can have your photographs there. But cruelty aside, to have that, Giles, was a joy, and it was. Terri's family and friends were there. So yes, it was work. Yes, it was getting the press up and getting the celebs on the red carpet. But for me and for you, more than that, it was, celebrating through 2 years of hard work. And of course, let's not forget the cast and crew were there who hadn't seen it. It was a joy.
We did use it though. Obviously, we're still a relatively new company and we're trying to grow. So we're still really kind of cultivating relationships. So I used it as an opportunity to get commissioners down. So, we had a really good turnout of commissioners just to say, we can do it, honestly.
Yep.
I know you've not trusted us yet, but look what we can do with difficult circumstances. I mean, we were out of COVID, but do you remember that ridiculous thing called the pingdemic?
Oh, yes.
Well, we got hit. We were losing crew daily. I mean, it was absolutely...
Did you have it?
No, we didn't have
yours?
ping. And actually, we did test every day on Stranger. We tested on Stranger. And I remember the first day coming to set thinking, if I've got this, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
And I was
there's no understudy director.
I was
is there?
absolutely cacking myself. I was honestly thinking.
I think we all were, though. There was such a sense of responsibility, wasn't there? And even Richard, our gorgeous DOP, who we all
Swindle,
know.
yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't mix with people, would he? He'd take himself off. He wouldn't. He was really separating himself because he was so worried about getting COVID and damaging the shoot.
Yeah.
But yours, Strange, was right
In the middle. We were in lockdown.
in the middle.
We were
with respect to the endeavours that we had to go through with Bolan, it was kind of a little looser, I know you wouldn't say that as the producer.
No,
I didn't get... Listen, Giles, I didn't get what they went through because she, rightly so, as a producer, shielded it from me. But
As
there
she
was shit going on, I know.
Yeah. I just think you make a film and there's always problems. And then you think, right, I've learnt how to fix that problem. So next time I'm going into this with my eyes wide. Then there's another problem that you never even had last time.
Yeah.
Wasn't even on in your vision. And it's like raising a child, and each film has completely different personalities. And then you've got to kind of learn to overcome them. And now our baby's going into the world.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Can I just ask you, Giles?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to say this, from one director to another.
And now you can. Congratulations.
do you? And this is a serious question, and I will do this the next time. I won't get fit. I won't get match fit, but I will take care of myself. I know we mentioned it in the Q&A. I genuinely was, for the listeners who don't know the full story, very quickly, I got very ill at the end of Bolans Shoes, and I was laid up in bed, and it took me a few months, Terri, to recover. Are you aware of that before you do a shoot?
I am now. Yeah.
You are now, there you go.
On the first one I did for the Dare, I was not. And I must have been having some sort of breakdown because there's videos of me, there's full behind the scenes, and I look like I am a different person in a different
there you
world,
go.
hyper manic, hyper trying to make sense of everything. Whereas I've learnt to try not to be in that state. I've learnt to pace where I need to worry and where I don't, because like you said in the Q&A, I had 27 ulcers. And there's no question about it. My ulcer level has gone down with each film, but it's still there. There's another problem. There's another issue. But it's after the film finishes. Of course I get really ill. I need to, like you said, I need to be in a bed for weeks and try and just think of nothing.
Yeah.
Is it similar, Nina, for you as well? Because Nina was obviously in The Stranger in Our Bed as well. But yet when you're doing shows, it's the same thing, right? It's that build-up and then the drop-off.
That's it. Just the stamina that's required. I don't think anyone can actually be prepared for that. You think you're ready and you're fit, and then you actually go through the motion and you think, oh my God, what's this? I've got to keep going. Like you said, it's all the adrenaline. It's pumping, pumping, pumping. You live off that, and then when it drops off, like you're saying, you're like, oh.
Well, you're a vocal athlete, aren't you? Really?
I am.
I
And
like
you have
that
to be.
word,
Yeah.
vocal athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. And
You're
you
welcome. You can have it.
I'm grabbing it. I'm never going to give it back. And you kind of got to be that. You've got to have that stamina, and you've got to, it's a preparation, isn't it? And even when you've prepared, something goes wrong, like you're saying. And no two things are the same. And that's the thing. You can never prepare enough. That's what I think.
Did you ever ask yourself why we do this?
All the time.
Listening to us, we're going, I get really ill. It's like having a baby. Everything goes wrong. It's like, if you listen to another person say this, you'd be like,
No, Terri, honestly, at the end of sometimes when I'm on set, and sometimes in the hardest moments, sometimes when you've finished, you go, I can't do this anymore. It's too traumatic.
Yeah.
Trying to get a film greenlit made in the first place is traumatic. You're thinking, why am I doing this? And then you go through it and it's terrible. But then it's almost like pretty much the couple of days after, you go, why aren't I on set? And you have that magic thing that it's there, that instantly you go, I need it again. I need to be on set again, because that was magic. It was like you said. Yeah. I had the 27 ulcers. It was really hard, but yet I want to get back tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's what it is, Ian. And I think it's just managing your expectations next time and managing that stress levels to go, I can't get ill because I need to be fit and healthy to direct. And it's just managing that process of going, you know what, I can do this. And I think the fear comes from us thinking we can't, we're the imposter syndrome.
I was
right?
just going to say that. Do you think we ever think there's ever a point, some of your guests that have really kind of been around the block a few times, do you think you ever get rid of that? Or is that the drive that keeps us going, the fact that we always want to be better? We think you do, don't you? That imposter, for me anyway, I think the imposter syndrome definitely drives me forward.
And I think it should be there. Because I think if you lose, I'm not saying the imposter syndrome, but if you lose that slight fear, then you're just gliding through it. You're just turning up and, doing an episode of something that you're doing every day. And it doesn't become it becomes a job. Yeah. And this isn't a job for us, even though it is a job. It's a passion.
Oh my God.
And that's the difference. And if we lose that, which includes the fear and the whole, hey, I'm not good enough for this. Right, and I think that's it. But
that is torture, though. I really wish I could just turn it off sometimes. I mean, even doing my speech last night, I thought I'd said something to upset someone. And
during the speech?
Yeah, during the speech. So I was having this whole internal dialogue with myself whilst giving my speech to an audience of 250 people going, oh God, I hope I haven't upset. What happened to I'm like, stop it!
Silence the voice in the head, right?
Oh, there must be a way to do it.
And it was probably just them splitting their head because they had a crook in their neck. It could have been anything, right?
I shouldn't have been paying attention.
Yes,
I should have been thinking about what I'm saying.
Well, I know the incident that she's talking about, and it was the person in the audience absolutely agreeing with what Terri was saying, but in a shaking the head
way
rather than nodding.
In a German way, in a Bulgarian way.
Yes, it was that.
It took me the whole of the speech, and then about an hour later to digest it, take it apart, and then go, oh, it's actually fine.
Yes,
what a waste of time.
Waste of time, right? This is your moment, and yet in those moments we still can't enjoy them, and it's like, why can't we? But you did enjoy it, Ian, right?
I did,
right? Okay,
I mean, the screening was a nightmare. We had for me, a coping nightmare. Not the evening was great, but we had a screening of Dirty Filthy Love.
That was the other one.
Bolans Shoes at the Manchester Film Festival, and I didn't enjoy that at all, Giles. It was too overwhelming, and I was saying to the director of the film festival, what's his name?
Yeah, Neil.
Neil. I said, why am I more nervous tonight, Neil, than I've ever been on stage? I've been a stage actor I was a stage actor for 16 years, and I'd go on sometimes playing leading roles, and obviously be suitably nervous, but it paled to what I was feeling about just sitting in the audience watching a film that and he said, that's why, because you can't do anything with it, at least when you're on stage. And he's actually right. When you're on stage, if you think it's going wrong, you can get it, hopefully put it right. But that helplessness, that it's out of your hands. He said, that's one issue. And I thought, I agree with that. And then he said, the other thing is, every word that's been spoken is yours, and every scene is kind of got your name above it. He said, that's a lot of pressure. So I kind of get now why I looked like I was on some really bad speed because every photograph,
Your eyes are really wide.
my pupils have disappeared completely. My eyes are bulging, and I look like I've done a really large line in the toilets. And I have this clammy cream grey colour on my face. Every photograph, and so long-winded. I hated it. It was too much. It was too overwhelming. This last night was a joy.
In fairness to you, though, it was the first time you were seeing it in front of an audience of 400. Debut director, never been in that position before,
and horrible.
I defy anyone not to feel that kind of pressure.
It was awful, but I've seen it loads of times now. Yes. I went to America with it for 6 weeks. I saw it loads of times at the festivals, so that kicked in, obviously, and the Valium and the 2 pints of beer beforehand.
A little bit of sleep.
But also all kicked in at the same time. It's
but
glorious.
also you get used to your film, and you sort of go, it's not mine anymore, and that you sort of turn a corner with it from being fearful of what everyone's going to say. And I remember seeing The Dare with an audience for the first time. I couldn't feel my hands. I'd literally gone into this cocoon of pain, and I was literally like having this panic attack. And then after a long time of people seeing it in all the festivals and it winning awards, suddenly you just went, it's not mine anymore.
Oh my God.
It's
That's
okay.
great.
It's okay. Let it go. Even the people who give it the shit reviews of all your films, you just go, it's all right. That's their issue, not yours. They're just wrong.
So cool.
And we have to keep reminding ourselves, because we're always going to get them. You can never make a film that's going to please everybody. No. And actually, should we? Should we be challenging some people? And we're all humans, and we've got different tastes. But Tim said something really, really profound last night, and he said, Terri, you just need to listen to the ones that matter. Because, there's quite a lot of keyboard warriors out there, dare I say it, who, think that they have the knowledge to be a critic. And you by some of the comments that they've made, they can't possibly have watched the whole film. Because that's just... Don't get me wrong, I am a big girl. If they didn't like the film, or they thought the lighting... I can take it, it's not that. But when somebody's making a point that just factually was wrong, then you shouldn't be a critic.
Totally. On 3 Day Millionaire, I remember one reviewer gave this scathing review, and then we checked to see how much of the film they'd watched, because we were sending out individual links. They'd watched 18 minutes of the film.
Wow.
And it was a big reviewer.
Wow.
We've still not said who it is, but we know, and next time we'll be totally aware. Yeah, because you can...
I'm shocked. I'm appalled by that.
Yeah, so it was really... we were tempted to do something, and then we thought, actually, let's let it go. It's just not worth... It looks like we're bitter. Yeah. So we were like, do you know what?
It's really hard not to retaliate when you know that people are actually saying things that are just wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. With Bolans Shoes, it's not a biopic. It's a group of people that are Mark Bolan fans. Yeah. So if you want to criticise the film for not having more Mark Bolan or T-Rex in it, you're criticising the wrong thing, because that's not the narrative we made.
That's right.
So I think that's a really important thing. But I save all the reviews till the end, really, because even if you get a good review, it can send you off down. If you're on stage and you get a good review, you think, this is great.
Yes.
Sometimes you drop the board. And if you get a bad one, then you go into yourself. So I read them all, but I read them when it's a safe place to read them.
Well, we were talking about that just a minute ago in the bar. We haven't all been drinking, by the way.
Not yet.
I haven't. My beer with me now.
Wait,
it's called Hair of the Dog.
The dog you had the premiere last night. I don't think you got much sleep, did you? So you've done very well.
On the train, 2 hours.
Yeah. This man has so much staying power. Wow. He is a machine. Well, some things haven't changed, darling.
No. I'll fly the flag.
Well, saying that, how were you on set? Because, I know Jack on 3 Day Millionaire, he just didn't drink the whole time. I know that me, when I'm on set, I choose. I'm like, if I go, I have one quick one, and then I go to my room to carry on what I'm doing. And then it's very minimum, and it's very rare. How did you work that? Because it's so difficult burning candle at both ends.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't anymore. In days of old, Hollyoaks upwards, I did with a bunch of other actors. I don't know how we did it, but we did used to go all night and turn up on set. But that was as an actor. You can get away with it as long as you can barely remember your lines. But I remember doing a scene once with Francis
Good job,
Barber.
you're a good actor.
It's a good job you can barely
It's a good job your work speaks for itself, isn't it? Listen, any budding actors out there, do not do this. He's particularly good at it.
Good advice.
But the reason I'm holding this microphone is as a director, and God, no, I would never do that now.
Okay.
I wouldn't as a producer either.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
There's
sort of let
too
him
much
either.
going on in your head,
Yeah.
and I think you are putting out constant fires, even if you've prepped it to within an inch of your life, and you have to be very reactive, which I don't know about you lot. I mean, I'm useless after a drink. I mean, I'm living on Diet Coke today, but tomorrow I'll probably hit a wall. I'd be terrified.
Yes.
Coming in to work.
There's so much going on through your head as a producer, as a director. There's so much to do. There's so many questions to answer. And if you're blurry in any way, even if you feel a bit ill, it's hard. Let alone if you're trying to do that on a hangover. I don't know how anyone even attempts to do that. So yeah, you've got to be really mindful of your mental health, but also your physical health on a film set as director, producer, even actors to a sense. I've spoken to actors before and said, can you just chill? Can you not? Because I need you to be on this.
Well, it's a bit I don't want to sound sanctimonious, but because I'm also, party animal when the time is right, but it's a little bit disrespectful to the people that you're on with. If you, but this is a gift, what we do, despite what the difficulties we have, to stand on set and love and be passionate about what we do. So then to not be the best version of yourself is not very kind to your fellow worker.
Absolutely.
I do know people that do it and they can cope. I'm just not someone that can. And so I would feel that that's not a team
all
spirit.
Right, I'm sorry, everyone. I hold my hand out.
Well, let's talk about this project Bolans Shoes, which we loved. Me and Nina now
amazing.
really enjoyed
Congratulations.
it. Yeah,
Thank
big
you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, the performances were off the scale. Leanne Best is outstanding in this.
Gosh,
Timothy
yes.
Spall was a joy. Everything about this was like, please give me more. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is.
brilliant,
I
Charles.
fed into it, and I was like, yes, I love this. So let's talk about quickly how it came about, and then we'll talk about on-set issues, how you cope with it. So first of all, I know obviously we worked on Stranger in Our Bed, and you were talking about other projects then. Obviously people don't know Terri produced that film. So talk us through your process of finding this and then bringing Ian on, or how it worked. I think it was Ian at first, but let's talk it through.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for that, because I really respect your opinion. And, when you've got filmmakers in the audience that know what they're talking about,
I was nervous about seeing you today, and I was nervous about seeing Kellyn last night.
exactly. The two
you
people.
shouldn't.
The exact two people. So how it came about, we'd done Stranger. Stranger was a very definite choice because it was a commercial, lower budget psychological thriller. Dip our toes in. The second feature, we wanted to have a festival life, to make a little bit of noise, just to set us into a slightly different position as a company. Now, I worked with Ian years ago on Hollyoaks and have always been blown away by his talent as an actor. He's an absolute joy to be on set with. And we've remained friends over the years. Your careers take you in different directions. And when he moved back up to the Northwest, it was during COVID, we were going for a dog walk. And I just really flippantly went, "You don't happen to have a script that can win me some awards, do you?" And he went, "Actually, I think I might have something." But he said, "But I want to direct it." I went, "No problem, direct it." Because I know him, and if all else fails, he will be the first to say he has no technical knowledge. Well, we had Richard Swingle, brilliant. You know him, you've worked with him.
Yes.
What I know about Ian is he knows performance because he knows how to do it himself. And actually, the lead actors echoed this. If all Ian did in this film was get amazing performance, well, we could put technical people around him. It just so happens he's brilliant in other areas as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, he coped, despite, and I know you don't mind me saying this, he suffers from OCD and, mental health problems. And that didn't come to set.
Right.
Even though it's really, really stressful, it was like working with a director that it wasn't his first rodeo. I mean, he'd keep saying, "I'm a learner," but I think if you've been on set for as long as he has, you just are familiar, and that's half of it. Creating, I really like sets that have a nice environment. I think it's really counterproductive when the director's creating tension with the actors or shouting at his DOP. I just don't get it. And Ian's set was fun. It was serious when it needed to be, and you could tell, particularly Tim and Leanne, they just loved working with him because he's an actor's director. So that's my story.
What a compliment.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, really.
That's
beautiful.
Just lovely, Terri. Thank you so much. But, and I'm echoing what I've said all along, I don't do false modesty, but I did have that quote again, invisible L plate on my back, and I made it clear from the moment I walked on set that I wasn't going to cover that up. I made it clear to cast and crew alike in every department that, you know, I was a newbie and this had to be a team effort, and that is not false modesty. It was to get the job done. So the crew were behind me, and Richard, as you know, Giles, I mean,
fantastic
God, what a wingman. I mean, he's like a mind reader, you know. They've got to be the best DPs around, because someone that can read your vision of a piece and then put it to work is extraordinary. I mean, maybe they're all like that, but first time, I couldn't believe how closely he realised every picture in my head. So get a good team around you and get the best actors, and you know, as you know, Giles, you get a good team of actors in front of you, your job is made much easier. Yet you're kind of there to nudge them and offer them something up and say, try this. But invariably, if they're as talented as the cast I had, your job is made much easier. And I'm not making it sound like, that's fact. There you go.
I was just going to add on to that, because they do say the transparency that you're talking about is absolutely amazing. And I think that allowed everyone to feel relaxed, because you didn't say, look, I'm the big all I am, this is my first and this is how you're going to do it. You were really open to the vulnerability of being the first, it being your first project, and everyone knowing how brilliant you are as an actor, trusting you and trusting your process and actually working with you. And I think that's really amazing, and I think that's testament to you as well and the way you work, and not to be so forceful in that situation, just to relax into it, forget the ulcers and everything else. But I think that comes with every territory, doesn't it? There's stress of everything, but at the same time taking that stress on and being careful how you maneuvered everyone and making sure it was joyful for them as well. So your attention to detail must be second to none. It was amazing.
I don't know as an actor, I don't, picking up what you said, Giles, I don't know how any other environment can make it work.
But you'd be amazed how many directors, I mean, I've worked with DOPs as an actress that have created terrible atmosphere because they're butting heads with the director. And it's not necessary. It's a tough enough job anyway. Let's all have a bit of fun.
And it's okay as well, Ian. And it's interesting you're saying, I really like that sort of invisible L plate on your back. I still feel like we all have that. It was like this imposter syndrome. So I'm going to just stick it back on again. But what was fascinating about what you did is you didn't do the full bravado. I've been an actor for years, I can do this. You already set the stall out to say, help me.
Exactly.
So people went, oh great, he's not going to pretend he knows what he's doing and fake it. He's like going, actually I'm not sure here, I'm not sure what lens to put on, which is what you said in the Q&A and stuff. And that's totally fine, because it's about story and vision. Every film is. And if you're saying to Richard Swingle, the DOP, I want this kind of a close-up, I want it to look like this, he'll go, don't worry, that lens is perfect. That's his job, right? You don't need to know everything, you need to know story and
also,
what you want to tell.
Why do we as human beings, why is there shame in not knowing? I think that vulnerability is actually a really nice quality to have. And
everyone doesn't mind when someone like Ian has stepped forward and said, guys, I've never done this, help me out. That's amazing. Everyone would have gone, oh, thank God. Okay.
That's it. Makes you relax.
Relaxed. Yeah.
But I don't know if there's Britishness in us, but I don't know, we see it as a sign of weakness, don't we? I'm the first one to put my hand up and say, I'm really sorry. I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm going to find out. And that is okay.
It is okay.
We need to be more okay with it, I think.
We do. Yeah. But I think that's what made you a great producer as well. For me, and it sounds like Ian as well, is that you were very good at doing that, of going, if you didn't know, I'm going to find out. You were very hands-on as well. And also, you shielded so much from me as a director, which it sounds like you did from Ian.
Yes.
And that is vital for us. We don't care if there's a problem next week. We're bothered about the problem right now, And what can we do about it? We're on set directing someone, and that's going to affect that. It's so important as producers we shield.
But you are great. You're like minutes into the job. I love doing Zooms or interviews with Terri because it's just a joy. You have such a seasoned producer about you.
It's amazing.
That is remarkable. And I know you say, but it's true, and it is a gift. And part of me wishes that both of us would have started this fucking job
I know.
20 years ago.
Right?
Faffing around.
Yeah.
I know.
Would we have been ready? This is what's interesting about this.
There you go.
I don't think I would have, because I think what makes... Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say, but I think you need experience on set, because I think as a producer you really need to understand the problems that happen in different departments so you can help them overcome it. Yeah. I think you need an experience as a human being, because you're dealing with lots of personalities. It's really intense, isn't it, on set? All these new personalities are thrown together. It's like a play.
Yes.
And you've got to get on, and what other job would do that?
Yeah. Big Brother is the only other person.
And look what happens there. Blinking out, we do really well.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the producer's job to kind of keep everybody happy, as well as all the other things that we do. So I do think you need life experience behind you. And I'm sure there are some great young producers out there, so to hat off to them. But me personally, I needed all that behind me before I could probably do this.
Yeah, so I don't think it's an issue that whenever you start, I think it's fine, you just learn. As long as you learn from your mistakes, that's the thing that works. If you don't, and you keep bullying your way through the same problems, that's when it becomes worse. If you make a mistake or there's a problem, you hold your hands up, and as soon as you do that, it makes everything okay. Yeah. People are very scared of doing that. Yeah. And it's like, why? First thing you do, that was my fault, totally me, I made... So everyone goes, okay, cool now.
Yeah, rather than trying to patch over, and then everyone's getting really annoyed because, people, it's not out in the open.
Absolutely, and they think that you're blaming them because you're the producer, you're allowed to do that, and it's so unfair.
If you're chasing data down instead of seeing it in one place, you need the Intuit ERP. Intuit Enterprise Suite. All your data in one place with built-in AI for real-time insights. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
It's baseball, but so much more. Go bananas for Banana Ball with ESPN on Disney+. The greatest show in sports?
Are you kidding me?
It's the phenomenon everyone's talking about.
The trick play to the plate.
Catch the Savannah Bananas and other fan favorite teams all season long with select games streaming with ESPN on Disney+.
Let's go!
U.S. residents, 18+ only. Select Banana Ball games available to all Disney+ subscribers. Terms apply.
Yeah. Talk us through that first day on set, Ian, for you, because you said, you were nervous. And I think it's fascinating for all our first-time filmmakers out there listening. I know how I felt. How did it feel for you? And maybe the first few, I know there was Pingdemic as well on that first day. I've heard about this, and maybe you could fill us in. But that maybe getting through that first day and that first feeling of saying action and going, oh my God, I'm actually making a feature.
It's beautiful though, isn't it? Isn't it, Giles? It's the most wonderful feeling. I remember my first, this relates to the question, I remember my first ever acting job, and it was 6 lines in Boone, a series with Michael Elphick. Wow. It was for Central Television, and I had 6 lines. And it was, like the birth of my children. Yay. It was, up there as being remarkable and beautiful. And I had that on set for Bolans Shoes. It was just brilliant to suddenly get Terri to say, right, everyone, and Dean first gather everyone, and they're waiting for you to say something. And yeah, that's the glory part of it. The imposter part that we've mentioned so often was what's going to come out of my fucking mouth. Am I going to what am I going to say? I genuinely, you can't practice it because it's not like learning lines.
Yeah.
What do I say? And I suppose what you mentioned a minute ago about experience, suddenly 40 years of being in front of the camera kicked in. And I thought, well, I've been watching this, the other side of the camera for 40 years. So is it that different? And suddenly I voiced the voice of a director. And it was up there with The Birth of My Children and my first acting job. And this voice came out and it was okay. So yes, Giles, it was just beautiful, as you know, that first moment, that responsibility. What I didn't reckon on were the questions that you'd be faced with.
Right.
Like every minute of the day. And I thought,
what kind of questions are you faced with?
I didn't read the manual. I'm sure it did. If I had done, would they have said, you're going to be inundated from the moment you open the mouth or the moment you stop talking, you're going to get, I wasn't prepared for that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's from every department. They're almost kind of lining up.
Wow.
And you're going, yes, no, yes. And I loved it.
Yeah.
But I was going, wow. When I went back to the hotel the first day, I go, what was all those questions about?
Why were they asking me? And why would I know? Yes. Why am I supposed to know? It's your job.
So there you go. That was it. That was day
It's
one.
so true, and it's so important. Even if you don't have the right answer right then, you don't want it. You've got to make a decision. You can't go, I'm not sure, because no one likes that. They've come to you with, do you want red or blue? Choose red. Later on, you can change your mind. Thought about it and gone, actually, I'm going blue. That's totally fine. You're allowed to do it, but you can't go, I don't know.
I know.
Because then everyone goes, well, I don't. If he doesn't know, this ship is sinking. That's like saying to the captain, should we turn round into the storm or not? I don't know.
That's so funny.
Well, while Ian was reveling in the marvel of shouting action, or whatever it was, my day was somewhat different.
Tell me.
The reality.
So, we have closed off this gorgeous road in Liverpool, which costs a lot of money. And I get this call, and we're trying to recreate this 1970s scene. And I get this call, and they go, there's a Mercedes Espace parked right where we need to film.
Oh, no.
And apparently this cage fighter in Liverpool, he's known for it. So on a Friday or whatever, he gets pissed and he uses it as a car park. And we're like, what do we do?
A cage fighter.
A cage fighter.
Okay, it's just random. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. You said
And we're sitting there going, this has cost thousands, and we need that out the way. Of course, police can't do anything. Film office can't do anything. No. And so, out of desperation, we ended up moving it.
Did you? You shunted it?
We shunted it. And then got such a bollocking.
From a cage fighter?
No, not from another governing body saying, well, funnily enough, one governing body were going, if you're going to do it, I'm not going to watch.
What, the MMA?
I don't know. They might listen to your podcast, so I don't want to know. So one governing body went, I understand your predicament, I'm not looking. And then the other one went, you absolutely can't do that. Well, we've kind of done it now and we're filming. Thanks.
Yes. Well, actually,
what do you do?
Well, in that situation, you just don't ask. You do. You literally do because you need to get your shot.
We didn't do any damage. So that happens. We were like, then running late. Then we had COVID. First bloody day. We didn't have it at all on Stranger.
No.
And it was a grip and we were outside.
Oh, my God, no.
At that point, you ring fence it. Our on-set medic was amazing. We ring fence it. But then people who were near him outside were getting pinged all week. So I'd wake up at 5 o'clock to phone call, really, really sorry, but we've been pinged. Well, at that point, it was such a new thing that, first of all, they didn't realise they were outside. It wasn't a risk. But if you rang any kind of helpline, they made it sound like it was mandatory.
Yes.
Whereas obviously later down the line, when we all knew what we were doing, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So honestly, that you can't foresee that. We literally lost whole departments daily. Honestly, it was like, that is probably going to go down as one of, for that reason alone, because you carefully select all your crew.
Of course you do.
And to lose really key people. I mean, at one point, poor Richard, DOP, his assistant went down.
Yeah,
she was sharing a fact with the focus puller.
Oh my gosh.
our camera, I thought it's not a big day. We were doing the bus scene with all the kids. And a big CGI. I was thinking, okay, don't panic. It's okay, we've got camera B. Camera B can step up. Camera B didn't even get his foot out of the car.
Wow.
And he got pinged. Honestly. Poor Richard. He was literally lighting, cameras, focus pull for about half a day on his own.
That's
and I think he was
on a bus with a load of kids, or
on a bus with a load of kids,
hot coach.
hot bus with our special effects team there. Honestly, that day, I think I nearly had a heart attack. I nearly had a heart attack.
That's filming right there, and it's great you can laugh about it now. But at the time, I imagine this was pretty stressful because you've just got the kids.
My hand on my head, just going, "Oh my God, surely nothing else." I actually got to the point where I thought, "I'm not answering my phone."
Yeah, I'm turning my phone off because
he's just not bad news.
I imagine you took Richard's phone off him. You're not getting pinged, mate. Yeah, this ain't happening.
Well, but I even thought that. I thought, what do I do? Because do I say, please don't download the app? Because it's,
legal.
and it was all so new and we were all getting used to it. I think if it had been anybody other than Richard, who it's my third film with him, and we know each other really well, and if he says, Terri, I can cope, I trust that he can cope. I think we'd have stood down, which would have cost tens of thousands.
Yeah. And on a film which the budget is whatever it is, and on an indie film, you can't do it. It's too big a risk. And crew often sometimes don't fully get the production side, and they just go, well, why not we just do another day? And you go, well, it doesn't work like that. Money is allocated very specifically. We haven't got coffers in the bank. We're not Netflix.
No.
Yeah.
And it's very tricky. So you did incredibly well. I mean,
and the scene's amazing in the film. You know, the kids on the bus. It's
a great scene.
Cool. So now you know what when you're watching it. If you watch it again, you now know what that day, what was going on.
The full backstory.
The backstory, the horrific. That is the worst day. But you know what? I'll probably come on again in the future and go, oh, I've been able to beat it. Yes, I've got another worse day.
Of course you will. I expect that.
But we can't. You have to laugh. Do you know what? If you don't, I think the key as well sometimes is overcoming the problem and just being able to let it go. You can't dissect it. The same as, when you're on stage as an actor and you get something wrong, you've just got to forgive yourself. You've got to, this is tough. You've got to be kind to yourself. No, we couldn't have foreseen that. We did the best we could. It meant that it was a very difficult day. People probably got fed late, But you're trying to keep that away from the set because you don't want people stressing on set. We've got kids, we've got mums. It is a tough job producing, as you well know.
I think it's one of the hardest. I really do on a film set.
And you don't get thanked that much either, do you?
This is what I was just about to say. It's a thankless task, actually, a lot of the time. And you look at any sort of press stuff and stuff that's going on. I mean, now it's slightly different because of the situation with the SAG strike. All the producers are being pushed towards me for the podcast that are normally not. So I get directors, we get actors, and we always push for producers because we know how hard it is. And plus, this is what the podcast is about. How do you actually do it? And I find that fascinating that it's never the producer's medium when you're you're talking about the film. It's very rare unless it's someone who also acts or likes talking. A lot of producers, they also don't like to talk about it, don't like to talk about the problems. And I find that fascinating because that's the tough bit for indie filmmakers out there.
And also we want to learn, don't we? We want to... I love, I'm an avid listener to your podcast, and I love listening to how other people overcome things because there just might be something I can put in my knapsack for the next time I'm in production. And I think that's vital because you have to think so quickly and on your feet. The more ammunition you've got from learning from other people or experience, the quicker you can fix things.
Totally.
Oh, I've got lots of problems. Keep going. This might be a 5-hour podcast.
Sorry, we can handle it.
Yeah. But you did get a bit of glory recently when you won Best Film at the National Film Awards.
I did.
Congratulations to that.
Oh my God, though. We were the underdogs, Giles. We were absolutely. I never thought in a million years we were going to win, and it was sponsored by vodka, and there's no food.
Terri.
I mean, the only thing I drink
Terri
is vodka.
comes out.
So I was drinking away, thinking, oh, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. And then, literally, lovely Karen. Her film had won a couple of Love Without Walls. You had them on, lovely. I really enjoyed that podcast. We really champion each other as producers, which is lovely. And they'd won a couple of awards. And I thought, shit. I think I might need to just have a bit of water. But by that time I was really squiffy, so by the time I got up there, the amount of F-bombs I dropped. And then the next day, of course, they were all over Twitter. And I just had to say, I'm so sorry. I was just so excitable. I didn't thank everyone I meant to thank. But I was just so shocked and beautifully surprised. And you know, we were there to make friends, really, to put bowling in. We never...
Yeah.
But lovely, because I think ours is actually voted for by the
people.
The people.
That award,
and that's why we do what we do, not for awards, for people. We tell stories so people can enjoy it. And I think for me, as was Manchester voted for by the audience, the Audience Award, they're the ones that are really special.
Yes, totally agree. Because they're the ones that actually... sometimes the... people can be swayed if they're on a panel, you know, it's about maybe they know people, but the Audience Award is literally the Audience Award, what they like about a film. And I've won a few now, not necessarily showing off in any way, but I prefer those because it's the audience who you connect with. They're the ones who come up to you afterwards. They're the ones who shake your hand. They're the ones who say thank you. Yeah. It's kind of nice, right?
Yeah. Do you think you feel that way because you know you've got lots of hats, haven't you? So is that a little bit of the producer in you, or would the director Giles prefer a director's award, or is it quite hard to separate it now?
I'll take any award going to me.
Me too. I'm not asking
Keep them coming. Nina's won loads of awards in her time. I don't know. Because I think the whole awards thing is slightly weird anyway. But what it does is promote the film. Yeah. So I'm kind of there. Look, if I get an award, I'll just make it about the film. Yeah. But so it's why it's an audience award. It's the whole team. And I like that because the whole team made the film, not just me. Yeah. It's not filmed by Giles. And interestingly, I did put that on one of my first films. And as soon as I realised that, I was like, no, it's not. The whole team made this film. It's not a film. It just became the thing to put up because someone put it in a contract to say, have that on the... And you go, yeah, I directed it. But actually... Now I know what making films is like. That's right. Everyone from the PAs all the way up to editors, post-production, deliverables, all those teams made the movie. Yeah. It's not a film by one person, it's a film by committee and
Don't
team.
You hate deliverables? Teamwork. You've just said
that.
Terri. I actually went into a cold sweat when you mentioned that. Please, can we just never
Me
talk
and you
about
have passed deliverables stuff backwards and forwards constantly because it's so painful. For boys and girls who don't know, it's really painful.
Is it?
Yeah, but why don't they streamline it? Because they don't use half of it. I would love to know the answer to that. Why do we
In case, Terri. It's in case they need them,
they
because
should deliver it to themselves and see how painful it is.
Well, I said that. Make it for yourselves and realise why you don't need all these deliverables that we have to do, which is so painful. But it's insurance, it's covering themselves, it's making sure that, well, we got it from the filmmaker, and if not, there's too many problems, there's too many holes for them, so they do make you do all of them just in case.
But some of it's archaic, though. They wouldn't use it.
Well, which is why you can argue the toss with them when you're doing the deal with the disputes or sales agent. You can at that point say, let's look at your deliverables list, we're not giving you that, are you okay with it? And most of them will say yes.
Yeah, they do. They
so there is that too, but you've just got to be clever as filmmakers and not just go, oh great, I've got a deal, I'll deliver everything you need, because suddenly doing that is really hard and it costs money. People forget how much those deliverables cost. You can't do all those things yourself. You can't do an E&O report yourself. You just can't, and that costs around $2,000, you know, plus all the American side of it you got to do.
And it's the frame rates as well.
Frame rates. There's 2 different frame rates. Please stop it.
Do you know what? I've just got into a cold sweat. Now we're talking about it.
There's no need for 2 different frame rates.
What's a frame rate?
So there's 24. So most films in the UK are shot on 24.98 or something. Americans, and I think I get this right way around, want it at 25.
Yes.
That percentage for cinemas is a huge difference because it bows your film or something. I don't know the ins and outs. I just know I had to deliver the film twice.
Yes. But the problem is, if there's a problem, you then have to re-deliver everything in 2 frame rates.
Okay.
And once you've got your DCP, which is also very expensive, you know, you're kind of cemented. That's like saying I can't do any more unless I want to, you know, spend loads more money.
So you can get DCPs for around £100 now, so don't be fooled. Yes, so don't be fooled by some companies who say it costs so much. Yeah, we can get them for £100.
£100?
Yes, the redone version. I might put a link in the show notes.
Please do.
That is really...
What are you used to?
Not to make to recreate a DCP.
So not to make
not to make the
yes,
first one.
Yeah, the first one I'm talking about.
Okay, yes, that costs way more.
Yeah. I was thinking, God, Giles, you
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
that
yeah.
quiet.
that contact now.
No, sorry, everyone
I
listening.
got a bit excited then.
And Terry.
Well, what is it normally?
Well, thousands,
Thousands,
is it?
yeah.
All right.
Well, you negotiate that with your post house.
Yes.
I mean, we
You can do deals, but
Yeah,
yeah.
we've been lucky, and we use Arteos up in Scotland, and they've been incredible because Tom, our lovely colorist,
Yes.
who has worked on all the films that I've done,
yes.
we've kind of followed him around. So he was out at a big studio, and then he went to Arteos. And
Bringing it back to Ian. Now, when you started the process,
Yep.
and you wrote it, you were director, and you got the team together, what was your initial reaction when you actually got on set and it's not going the way you want it to go?
Yeah.
How did you tackle it?
Well, do you know what? I surprised myself because my partner's always, and my children are always saying, grow a backbone. And I never have. I'm quite spineless when it comes to speaking my mind. Yeah,
really?
well, it's interesting. Genuinely, I don't really have any kind of... I don't feel authority very well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do authority very well. But what surprised me, when that first-time director opened his mouth, I kind of knew what I was saying and I knew what I wanted. So when things weren't right, I suddenly found this voice and said, that's wrong. And I didn't go, oh God, which is what Sue and the kids sometimes say, you know, I didn't go, what wish I would do in real life, which is, well, I don't think that's actually right. I said, that's wrong. Or, you know, and I thought, oh, fuck, I know what I'm talking about.
I'm really surprised to hear you
Yeah.
say that,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's not a way I would describe you.
Well, maybe as a director, I have a voice. I have a backbone.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to say. I'm different off set. And people have said this
There
to
you
me
go.
before. My missus came to set at one point. She went, well, you're a different person.
There you go. That's what I mean.
Because because almost you have to lead. You know, you've suddenly got to step
got
up.
to,
and
that's it,
and you've got
Giles.
to have that voice of authority, which you know, and also the film's been in your head for so long. So again, you're not being rude to people. You're not saying you're wrong. You're saying, okay, this isn't what I'm seeing. Can we do this?
Yes.
You're not going, oh, I'm not sure. You're coming with a positive energy, and everyone wants to make it work. And I think that's the difference. We're offset. You're not in control. And I think maybe that's the difference. On sets, it's your
right.
vision. You're in control of the ship. You're trying to steer it in the right way.
Exactly.
In real life, we can't do that. Things go wrong all the time, like someone coming up and shaking a hand in the street. He could have done anything and gone, I think you're a wanker, and punched you, or, you know, he could have done anything. And how we react to that is, well, we're not in control. Whereas if you're an M&A fighter and you're in the ring, well, you know you're going to fight back. This is the game. On set, this is the game. And in real life,
It's
I get
exactly that. So I knew when things weren't right. I knew what I wanted. And that was a great feeling. I don't think I'd felt that before.
This is one of the reasons why I
it's
wanted
great.
to direct, because the first time I directed was a pilot for BBC, and Nina was in it, actually.
Oh, yes.
And the first time I did it, it's the same thing. I literally felt this unbelievable sense of, oh my God, I feel like I know what I'm doing. And Nina would probably say this, attest to this, that no, you felt totally like you know what you're doing.
It was amazing.
You see what I mean? Whereas I didn't feel that way. I just felt like I could do it. I felt like you said, I've been on set so many times, I'd watched this so many times. I might not known at the time what lenses to put on, but I knew what I wanted.
Yes, exactly.
And it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. The whole process was enjoyable. You knew what you wanted. You were really easy with the direction. You directed while you were clear. We just put all our trust in you. I had an amazing time. I don't care about anyone else. I had an amazing time.
Other people might say not.
And it was brilliant.
And it sounds like, thank you, Nina. And it sounds like you did the same, Ian, what Terry's saying. And I think it's so important to have that on set, that not only do you know what you're doing, but also to have fun with it. Keep everyone at ease so they don't feel like you're going to tell them off, and don't feel that they're nervous, because no actor wants that. And you know that. Because you've worked with so many directors. And
I've been on the receiving end very few times, Charles, but I have been on the receiving end of little dictators. And I just, I become like a hedgehog. I just curl up.
Well, it doesn't make you a better performer.
You've just stifled me. You've completely knocked the confidence out of me, and I'm not going to deliver. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Understand. Yeah, the mentality, because actually all we want is to do our best work. Why do they shout?
Yes. Well,
Any directors out there, really, this is a really, really bad trait. The best work is always going to be produced by the happiest people.
Yes, agree. I think it comes down to fear themselves. And I think you could say that into life as well. But I think often when people do shout, get angry or upset, it's because they can't communicate what they really want. And the only way they feel they can do that is by shouting.
Oh, I'm not saying there's no place for shouting. I'm just saying when you're on a set and there's that unnecessary tension
it's the unnecessary
that's created, we all need to be respectful of our own roles and the roles of other people, which I think sometimes needs to be reinforced from the producer, because that's the kindest way to work. We just need to be kind.
Yes, we do. We do.
So, Terri, tell me a little bit about your journey from the last film, Stranger in Our Bed, to Bolans Shoes.
They were so completely different, because Stranger in Our Bed, we were in lockdown. So I don't feel like I probably got a realistic helicopter view of producing because of the kind of things that we were dealing with. But definitely with each film, I mean, Bolans Shoes was particularly challenging because of the pandemic, which we've discussed before. And actually Dean, who was producing Bolans Shoes with me, had to step into the first AD role. And he just said, I can't do the first AD role and keep the ship running and then have to worry about producer stuff as well. So, I kind of all of a sudden then was like, shit, okay. So I just couldn't, because there was a couple of things I tried to, discuss when he said, I can't think about that right now. So, but I wonder if that hadn't have happened. I'm much more confident now.
Yes, yeah.
Because I felt like I was really thrown in the deep end to keep the ship running, because Dean's been my mentor on the last 3 films. And I think finally, because I was balancing that while he was on set, I feel like the mentee needs to kind of spread her wings now and, probably work with other producers. Dean's been really gracious, actually, in mentoring me and taught me lots of things. But I think when the time it is to start expanding, because you start finding things that you want to do in your own way.
Yes.
Your own voice comes out.
And there's things that he's taught me that I'll take with me forever, and there's other things that actually doesn't mean to say he's wrong. I just want to try a different route. So I've been very lucky to have been under his wing for some time, but it's an exciting process. But I also got a lot more involved in the post-production with Bolans Shoes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
The post-production normally, so with Stranger, it was done in London, and Giles and Dean really, because for the stuff we've said, I kind of, a bit like Numbers, I just numbed over a little bit. But it's a really important part of the producing process. And I think until you understand every part of the producing process, you can't really be a really good producer. So it's like doing blinking, the deliverables and learning all of that. You've just got to go through a lot of pain if you want to try and be the best version of yourself you can be. So we brought in a producer, Andy Evans, who normally works on much bigger budget films, and he was really gracious in teaching me how he does it, which was different to what I'd learned from Dean before. So already I came out with a really different experience and knowledge of post-production. So I feel much more confident. I'm sure the next shoot will be hellish, because they always are. But I love it. I always was nervous about being a producer. I was gradually gravitating, because I always thought, well, it'll take over and I'll never get the chance to act. What I didn't factor in is that, like you said about your directing, I love it. I love being that person that is the energy behind a project, because actors, we sit and wait by the phone. It seems a long time, but I never understood what other people were doing to try and get projects off the ground. And I am like a tornado. And at least I know if I'm that person trying to get it off the ground, I'm in control of my own destiny more. And I love it. I love the hustle. It's hard work. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, other than raising my children. But it's so rewarding.
I'm literally going to say the payback is amazing, isn't it?
It is. Like, last night watching the film, and, my son sent me, because he came and he walked the red carpet, and my son is a man of few words, typical 17-year-old. And he just went, I had a really good time tonight and I'm really proud of you. And I was like, job done.
Yeah, job done.
Job done. Because
Tick.
he saw I was working hard and I was doing something I love. And I think the biggest lesson we can try and teach our kids, among all the others, choose a career you enjoy.
Yeah.
Because as somebody very famously said, you'll never work another day in your life. And you don't mind working hard, do you?
No.
That's why we talk about this. And I know we were jesting before how difficult it is. But we do it because we love it.
Yeah.
And so you don't mind the pain, do you?
No, wait, that's the thing. You sort of do and you don't. It's a weird thing.
It's like no other job.
There's no other. It feels like there's no other job. And what about yourself, Ian? Then, in terms of what you've learnt from this, because I really hope you direct again.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see that. But what have you learnt from this, and what do you think you'll take with you onto your next film?
I've learnt that I can do it.
Right. Yeah.
And that I do have a voice, and I trust my choices, and I've discovered that patience is such a virtue with everyone on set, and to pursue that even more, the patience bit. I just felt there were times I didn't vocalize it, but there were times when I did feel a little bit impatient, and I, over the course of the 4 weeks, learned to be more patient. Great. So I think patience, is so important on set when you've got everyone doing their utmost in limited time with limited resources. That's kind of it, really. I wish I could be a bit more. But I think that's my list.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough. It's
enough.
Solid.
It's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's enough.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Well done. Bolans Shoes is in cinemas now. How many, Terri? You've just told us in the Q&A at Everyman, and its release date in cinemas. How many cinemas is it in now?
147 so far, still counting.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that great?
It is amazing.
I know, I'm very proud. I just need to get an audience in there now.
It's in that many cinemas. You've done so well, both of you.
Just need to work on now. We need to track the cinemas, which is something new for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tracking all the cinemas. And
what does that mean?
So we'll look at the numbers, and so I've got an assets folder which I've created, which actually, obviously, people don't do it much because they've been very receptive to it. So in the assets folder, it's like what you do, the little videos, and I've given them social media fodder. So if they want to support us, they've got lots of bits that they can support us with, which is new content for them. So and they've been really receptive to that. So I'm working with the cinemas to try and, it's in both our interests. I don't want empty cinemas, and neither do they. So we're working together now to try and get those bums on seats, because it's still tough in cinema.
It really is.
It really is. That's the truth of it.
So it's so important right now to support indie films. So listen, find a cinema. This is playing in Bolans Shoes. The link will be in the show notes, and go watch it in the cinema right now. Go support, and then go find their Twitter handles and write, I like this, whatever you want to write, but just give it a review. It makes such a difference to support indie film. If you're listening to this podcast, you love indie film and you're a filmmaker, so do it with every film you watch. But right now, Bolans Shoes is in cinemas, so go watch it.
It's incredible.
Listen, thank you so much for coming on, both of you. This has been a real joy to chat to you. It really has.
I loved every minute. You know this is my favourite podcast. Yeah. I get a little bit giddy every time I come on it. I just love it. I think it's a really important thing you're doing to be giving information to filmmakers. And I learned quite a lot about SAG. On the SAG one.
On the SAG podcast episode. Excellent. Yeah, thank you. I'll put a link to that one in the show notes as well, so producers out there can keep learning. Listen, you can go out there and make your film. You can go make your indie film, you can make your TV show, you can make your documentary, you can make your short film right now. Go do it, believe in yourself. It's so important, exactly as these guys have done. And if you're lucky enough to rise up and do well, it's your duty to...
send the elevator back down. Yeah. I do listen.
You do listen. I could have tested you. Listen, Terri Dwyer, thank you so much.
Always gorgeous to see you.
Ian Puleston-Davies, thank you.
It's been a delight. Thank you. It's
Pleasure.
been great coming on your podcast. What an honour.
And Nina Christopherson, thank you for co-hosting today.
Thank you. My pleasure. It's been great fun. Thank you for having me.
We popped your cherry on the Filmmakers podcast. Bolans Shoes is in cinema. Go watch it. Right, take care, everyone. We will see you next Tuesday, as always. Bye for now. Bye.
Hey, this is Rob Sesternino, and I am the author and narrator of The Tribe, and I Have Spoken. I am so excited to talk to you about Survivor, the lore and the legacy. How did we go from a phenomenon in Borneo in the year 2000 to where we are now in the new era with Survivor 50? So come on the journey of Survivor's lifetime with me. The Tribe and I Have Spoken is available now on Spotify and wherever audiobooks are sold.
Health starts with what's on your plate because a healthy meal is more than food. It's a foundation. Nutritious meals help kids thrive in school, parents at work, and seniors in their communities. Help us put food at the center of better health for everyone. Give now at feedingamerica.org/health.